year. It's Lou Diamond. I'm back again. Wow. So took off a couple of days, went out of town. You know, I'm retired, so I'll be on the move. You know, we ain't promised tomorrow, so you know I gotta do what I gotta do. But today's little episode is about corrections, about the Department of Corrections. I was a correctional officer for the state, and there's some stories that need to be told. Well, I just want to give a shout out to all law enforcement agencies throughout the world. I mean, the job has got to be the hardest job, especially in 2022. They changed the playing field. They changed it. I mean, you know, I put it to you this way: if you put your hands on somebody and you expect to not to get your hands put on back on you, then that's crazy in itself. You know, I mean, there's no problem changing all the laws. Did you see? It was kind of it's not funny, but the young lady that smacked the NYPD officer, and the officer open hand, open palm, smacked the shit out of her. I'm against any man touching any woman. I'm totally against it. But what made her think, because that's how the mindset is right now, what made her think that she can put her hands, he's coming in there to arrest somebody, so his adrenaline is going, and you don't know, she could have hit him with a right and came across with a razor with the left, $150 him, as everybody say in the street, whack, hit him. So he ain't had no chance for it. So imagine he ain't do nothing, and then she did that. Oh, he got hit. Oh, you see that? The girl sliced him in the face with a razor. You know what I'm saying? It goes no further. Laid her down. That's right. As Bubba Dub said, laid her down. For real. And you know what? Like, I wouldn't want that to happen to my daughter. But my daughter would never go up to an officer and put her hands on any law enforcement. So that's to let you know where she was at. You know, so I mean, I hear everybody out there, oh, why he do that? But it was for his protection too. You don't know, these girls is cutting, stabbing, you know, shoot. So I mean, it is what it is. As a law enforcement officer, or as an officer, or someone in law enforcement, you understand what he did. Maybe the civilian might not understand, but you understand what he did. So, I mean, times has changed. This is what I'm trying to get to right now. Back in 9/7, I'm walking in the gate to the big house. You know, I'm shook. You know what I'm saying? I'm a young dude. You know, I'm thinking I'm cool and stuff. But I was frightened. I ain't let nobody else see I was frightened. I had to put it on like, this shit is rough. Deep down, I was scared as shit, man. Yo, I was scared. I went A block. I walked in the gate, and I seen those cells open up. They said, on the yard, and all you heard was bam, 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 bam. And they had a flush system. So all the inmates just came out they cell, and they all formed, we call the flats. So it was crazy, and they flushed them out. We had a sergeant called Sergeant McNamara. I mean, this guy, he actually changed my life, because when I got in there, I was a little hard-headed. And he, you know, that's why I say, they say, you're not an officer until you get about 5 years on the job. And then you learn right from wrong. And you learn that these guys are supposed to get something. You learn, you know, you learn how to treat, how to be a professional, and how to treat an inmate. You give an inmate everything you're supposed to get. You do not abuse them. You do not touch them. You do that when you have to. And you know, your day can go by. It can go by uneventful. But back then, it was popping. I mean, it got to a point where you get used to it. Like you get used to anything. Like a surgeon gets used to performing an operation. You get used to it. But by 25 years, I learned a lot. I have we became a family. I got some nice friends, white, black, Spanish, because we wasn't no color. We was one color. We was gray when I first started. Then they changed to the blue uniforms, which was whack. But we became a family, and we stuck together. We might not have liked each other, and you left that outside. We might not have liked each other. There was some officers I hated, and I was like, yo, this dude a piece of shit. Inmate saying he's a piece of shit, but I don't give a fuck about that. But I'm saying he's a piece of shit. Like, yo, but you have that in everything you do. You got, in everything you do. I was different. I moved different. I spoke to the inmates because me personally, I was almost there. I know how it is to get caught and be at the wrong spot because I was from the hood of Long Island, if you want to call it a hood. So, I was, I knew the gangsters of the town. See, the thing about me was, I was a popular guy. I was heavy into sports in high school. I was a popular guy, and so I knew the criminals. I spoke to them. I grew up with them. So they chose that life, and I chose this life. And it's kind of funny because 25 years later, some of them were coming home. They was like, "Yo, you still doing that?" They was like, "Yo, man, I wish I'd took that job." So and I'm talking to them now 25 years later. They say, "Yo, I wasted my life trying to run around doing this and that. When I could have did what you did, and shit, I traveled all around the world. It's like the fish. I got hobbies. I lived while I worked. Some people don't do that. Some people just work. Some people take their job, and that's in any job that's out there. Some people all about their job. I separated. Like I separate everything. There was a time to work. There was a time to play. There was a time for the time, So I separated it. But it was a life experience. I met all type of people on both sides. I had experience with officers that I didn't like. I had experience with supervisors that I didn't like. Like in my later years, I was getting a little. That's why I had to get out because okay, let me give you an example. You have an officer that you work with. He becomes a supervisor. He was a fucking slugger officer. So now he's a supervisor. He's walking around because he scored on the test. I didn't want to take the test to be a supervisor. I was making good money. I was comfortable. I had less responsibility. And it's not because you get caught up in there, you can get hurt. There's a lot of things that you might be messed up for the rest of your life. So I'm just trying to just give a little example and just try to give a shout out to the correction officers, to the police officers, to the federal workers, to the city workers, or should I say these state workers, federal workers, city workers. We keep our country rolling. We keep them rolling because the amount of taxes. I just seen how government control, how it just took over our society. Just like I told, back in the day, they said they're gonna put a computer chip inside you. They don't have to. We got the phone. The phone follows you. It lets you. The phone follows you. No, it doesn't follow. The phone is with you, but you're being tracked everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you're being tracked. So, I said something about Holly Berry the other day, and then the next thing I knew, I was getting stuck about Holly Berry. I said something, and it's crazy. I say something, and it pops up on my phone. But yeah, so I praise you workers that are doing the job, and the job it's a difficult job. So this is my little story to come out to tell y'all, to make y'all aware. They so against the police officers. Listen. Law enforcement is a hard job, so don't down the people that's working there. Don't down us. Don't down them. And all these people that's doing all this shit, they're not in law enforcement. They're not walking the streets. They're not walking the jails. You know what I'm saying? They at another level. They sitting in AC. You ever been in a housing block when it's 100 degrees, when there's a heat wave? And I leave the block, my socks are soaked, my underwear is soaked, my t-shirt is soaked, and I don't work 16 hours straight like that. So the things that we go through and that people don't even realize, So and before I left, the inmate, just like I said, the inmate to me when I got there, inmate was a convict, and officer was a hack. Now the inmate is not a convict, he's a crybaby, And the officer is in a titled, I don't know what it is, because, we have rights, and you have rights. But, you might be a murderer, and then you talk about all the rights that you have, that you're supposed to have, and I'm going to give you that. But you just murdered somebody. You murdered 2 people. I don't know what it was for. So you're in an environment that you brought yourself to. Now, and not everybody's guilty of their crime, and not everybody's bad. Because, I met some real dudes, some inmates that were some real dudes, you know what I'm saying? And on the other hand, the officers is, I would never forget, it was an officer, they told her to go to the gym door. And she said, I ain't going to the gym door. And I was like, oh my God, like that's the first time I seen an officer tell a supervisor that they ain't doing nothing. But she broke it down. She's a sergeant now. She broke it down. She said, listen, my job consists of me doing this, that, and that. And she was kind of right. But when I got there, you went where you was told to go. We got an officer in charge. That motherfucker say go up through the gallery. You went to the gallery. You was mad. You probably hated that officer after that, but you went to the fucking gallery, no questions. And the sergeant said, you heard the officer in charge. That's where the fuck you going. So that was it. Now you can't, man. You tell an officer they going somewhere and that wasn't in their job description. Shit. You know what I'm saying? But back then, you might have had a weaker officer up there. They might have told you because you're an officer that can handle the job. Sometimes it was done for a reason, like that better officer that can handle that. Like they used to make me run a mess hall. And the sergeant liked it because I ran a mess hall fast. I got him in, I got him out. And my theory was, why run it slow? The longer you have inside the mess hall, the more problem you can have. So I felt that you can get them in and get them out, and it'll shut the time down for shit to go down. I looked at it different. I was flushing them in, flushing them out. Boom. Get them on the gate. Boom. So it was a lot of things. But I started having a problem with, I don't know if it's a problem, but, like, I think like when you're an old timer, you should get respect because you did the 20-some years. I think there should be a little more access to certain things that when you're retiring. I think that 2 years before you retire, it should be a requirement that you get a physical. That you get a physical, because a lot of people retire and you work so much, you're not going to the doctor, you're not going to the doctor's appointment. Like my last 3 years, I'm running the doctor's appointments. I'm trying to miss them. I'm chasing the money. I'm getting stuck. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So but I shout out to my boys up in Sing Sing. I shout out to the sisters up in Sing Sing. Yo, it was real. I love you guys. We did what we had to do, and we made it home. And I'm glad. I still associate with all the fellas. A lot of the officers that retired with me, they're moving out. But don't knock the correction officer. This is what this is all about. Don't knock the correction officer's job. And you thinking because your person, your man, or your son is in jail, and that we are all horrible people. These guys will tell you, and they'll tell you, I'm Lou Diamond. The inmates call me Lou Diamond. They'll tell you, I gave everybody what they're supposed to get, because I couldn't see this dude's going to four officers and asking for him, and the officers were probably lazy. Some of them were lazy, or some of them was doing other stuff. But that means he has to talk to 4 people. But if that one person would have took care of him, he wouldn't have to talk to those 4 people all the time. That day. That would have been that. So I tried to, I'm going to take care of you. Listen, and you ain't going to bother nobody for the rest of the day. And that's how I looked at it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't fight over no sugars and no salt, because you got minimum 6 sugars and all. It was kind of crazy. But, I wasn't going to get smacked or punched or whatever over no fucking sugar and no bread. I seen a sergeant go over and take a bun off an inmate's plate because he took 2 buns. So what I would have did, I was like, he got it. When I seen the inmate, I was like, pull him to the side, like, yo, what you doing, man? You see I'm on the line. And I used to tell, I don't give a fuck how many buns you take, but you're not allowed to take it. I can't have everybody taking extra shit, but then I'll have no control over, over my mess online. So, you got to break it down. So, I mean, it's a rough job. Give the officers some respect. And I want everybody to make it out of there nice. So, I got a lot of people that moved up in the department. And I'm proud of you and stuff, but I feel that you do your 25 years and you get out, man. That's it, man. There's no ifs and buts about it. I know people staying in there to pay their kids' college tuition, and I ain't do all that. I'll tell you, I told my child, and my child graduated. She's doing very well. Listen, I'm not mortgaging my house. I'm gonna help you, but I ain't paying your college tuition. You wanna go to college, you find a way. You wanna go to a DI, some people mortgage their house, their kids is up there smoking blunts, drinking Absolute all the time, hanging out. It's like a big party for them. Don't graduate, and you got a $100,000 bill. No, make that your bill. You can take out the loan yourself. So I was a different breed, but that was me. That was me. I did it the way I thought it should be done and how I wanted to do it. And that's how it boiled down to. So I will be coming out with episodes about Department of Corrections. I'm going to be coming out with little stories about little incidents. Not going to mess anything, but how little things go. And I want to release them. I'm going to probably put them on a site that for officers, law enforcement site, but I'm gonna make them to the public too. But it was good coming back, good being on the air, and I miss you guys. Listen, my name is Lou Diamond, L capitalized and the D capitalized, but Lou Diamond is together. Podcast on YouTube, so come check me out. Please hit subscribe, hit like. If you come to my site, just hit subscribe. But try to watch them from the beginning to the end because, I throw little things in the front, but my endings are going to be crazy. This one is to let you know about my, I'm going to be having little things, little skits, little stuff that I'll be looking at and talking to you about. So it should be coming soon. It should be coming real soon. I got a couple of things taped already. I'm going to start releasing them, start uploading them. So this is Lou Diamond. Yeah. I'm signing off. Until next time. All right. Peace.